what are your thoughts to close all of this in terms of the lesson we're learning about this incredible saga of the Beatles' music?
Well, that the world is an illusion, that you shouldn't have idols, you shouldn't be worshiping, and that's exactly what happens. We put rock stars and entertainers and celebrities on pedestals, and then you worship them. You worship them by spending money to buy their products, to buy their CDs, to go see their movies, and so on. So really, that's a part of your energy, right? Because you have to go work to go make the money, and then you're taking your energy in the form of money, and you're giving it over to them. It's also where you're putting your thoughts. It's where you're putting your consciousness. And so it's idol worship. So what we're getting from the Beatles is we're breaking down, tearing down one of the largest worshiping institutions of all time by the population. Millions of people worship and have the Beatles on a pedestal. And by taking it down, by tearing it down, it's a good thing. It's a good thing because we now see, for folks that have eyes to see and ears to hear, that it's all fabricated. It's not real. The Beatles story that you were told is not real. And by digging into this conspiracy, Charlie, a lot of people will say, well, who cares? It's just a musician. Why do we care about this? I even have people in the truth community who think that I'm wasting my time on this and I should be talking about something that they think is important, right? I have to correct them all the time. I said, look, this conspiracy teaches you about the pyramid of power. It teaches you about Luciferianism. It teaches you about the occult. It teaches you about mysticism. It teaches you about Tavistock. It teaches you about social engineering. It teaches you about magic, Crowley. It teaches you how a massive psychological operation was pulled off from beginning to end. Doubles, lookalikes. So when we break it down that way, what other conspiracy does that for us? So when we talk about McCartney and the Beatles, we're really, really digging into the bowels of how this reality works. That is the takeaway from this. And that's the beautiful part about what Billy gave us in the book, The Memoirs of Billy Shears. Whether you love him or hate him or you're indifferent, set that aside. He's allowing us to take a peek behind the curtain. He's bringing us in, to a certain degree, into the inner circle to help us understand how it works and why it's doing what it's doing. And that's why it's such a powerful area of research to look into. But in order to do it, you have to drop the subjectivity. You have to drop your belief systems. And you have to get to the point where you are incredibly objective. Forget about all the stuff you read about the Beatles. Forget about this song, that song. Forget all that stuff. And just focus on what it's really all about. And once you do that, then you can take that knowledge and that wisdom and you can extrapolate it and you can apply it to all other conspiracies. Because now you have an understanding of how this machine works, how it does these things, and why it does these things. What are they doing? Oh, they're mind controlling the masses. They're social engineering. Why are they doing it? What's going on here is the controllers are implementing Luciferianism, and it's well on its way. I put a video up called The Cult of Paulism, which is Luciferianism, and that's what the Beatles are all about. In the book, The Memoirs of Billy Shears, they talk about Paulism. Paulism is a form of Luciferianism, Satanism. If some people don't like Luciferianism and they don't like Satanism, we can call it the cult of Dionysus. This is what's being implemented. This is the road that they have humanity on.
Shine.